So, Hitman Absolution, why is this one called Absolution? What is he seeking absolution for?
Well, it's not what he's been going through for his entire life, because I mean he has a lot of blood on his hands, so that would become impossible to absolve himself of. But there is a very particular event that happens in the beginning of the game, which is very personal for 47, and this is what the whole kind of plot revolves around.
And you guys brought us out to a kind of a casino and beach resort. None of the levels in the game are actually going to take place in something like this, though, are they?
Well, I mean, it's very inspiring to be here and see it for ourselves. There is not a level in the game, particularly in this location, but I mean...
So it's interesting to see Hitman and his kind of evolution over the series of games, but it's been a little while since we've seen the last game. I guess, what's been the team's inspiration behind some of the new features that you guys have added in? Like your ability to see enemies through walls, and where did you guys pull the new features from?
Well, we wanted to make a more believable world than ever before. And we spend a lot of time with our AI, beefing up their senses and their abilities. And we also spent a lot of time on the player side, empowering the player to be actually like the ultimate assassin. Because we felt in the old games, it was only if it was a really expert player that you would actually be able to play as the true 47. So we spend a lot of time with our mechanics trying to make it easier to get into and empowering the player, while with our new instinct mechanic to have like the upper hand on the AI.
But at the same time, you want players who are really used to the world, who are used to Hitman, to be able to go in and to do everything without killing anybody with extreme stealth.
Of course, I mean this is the most central part of the Hitman games, and we spend most of the time actually making the stealth parts of the game and making sure that playing through as a silent assassin is still as fun, or even more fun than before. But we felt that the trial and error gameplay of the old games it's not that fun to play it anymore. While you always have to you try a level, and within seconds you will get killed, and you have to replay and replay. So that's why we've been making the game in a way that you can the game is more forgiving. So as you play through the levels, you can kind of learn and use the instinct feature to kind of predict what will happen, rather than having to experience it and kind of die and restart.
And one of the most fun things about the Hitman games is, the creative ways that you're able to go about your mission. You just really have any kind of choice imaginable. And in this one, you showed us kind of breaking into some guys who were smoking a little bit of pot, and he kills a guy with a bong. What other kind of interesting or quirky items are you guys going to have in the game this time?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a big focus for us, what we call improvised weapons, that you can use a lot of different, more or less like household items, or well, a bong is not technically a household item, I guess, for most people, but using whatever you can find to your disposal and kill people with it in inventive ways. And we're still actually adding weapons as even at this stage, because we feel that within every location that we have, there is all these special little things that we can do to also make the world more rich, and reward the players for actually exploring every little location within the levels. So we have, I think at this point there's like 50 different weapons, stuff like that, and it's still increasing every time the designers come up with something new.
I guess one last question, as director, I guess, what's the most interesting part of the job that you've done so far? What's the most interesting part of working on the Hitman franchise?
I think making everything work together has been, it's the most daunting task. I mean, as you could see, it's we've taken quite big leaps in the cinematic kind of approach, and getting the sound and the voice acting, the body language of the characters, the AI, the mood of the levels, all kind of play together in every single kind of playthrough, that it should feel like a very cinematic game, even if the player would choose whatever kind of whatever way the player chooses to play through the game, he should always feel like he is the hero in a movie, and to direct the game in a way that this is actually possible with our tools, it's the most interesting task by far.
Well, sounds good. We look forward to checking out the game when it comes out. Is it slated for 2012?
Yeah, 2012.
All right, so Hitman Absolution in 2012.